Good evening, YouTube. This is Kayleen Stern coming at you with a slightly different live show tonight. I was hoping to do an actual ration review, but the ration that I was hoping to get is held up at the post office. Apparently there is some issue with something that is not of the sender. And I got some odd markings on the notice card that was left in my mailbox, so I'm hoping that since it didn't get redelivered yesterday, the mail carrier didn't have it, but he said that he would be sure that I would get it tomorrow. So that one was hoping to be tonight, but because of that little hiccup at the post office, I decided that since I had not yet done my snack comparison video, that I'll just go ahead and do it live. So what I've set up here is some items you may have seen before, and some are new versions or just an additional item to throw into the mix. And as I wait for people to come in, I will show the various items that I have. So behind here, I'll actually pull my tray forward so I can pull these forward. So in my drinking jar, I have a British orange flavored drink mix that calls for 375 mils of water, which is just a little over a cup. And then I will compare that with this US orange drink powder, which normally calls for a cup of water, 8 ounces. Nope, this one says 12 ounces, so it's probably roughly the same amount that these both will make. So this glass holds approximately 12 ounces. Then I have my bottle of cold water back here. And then I've done a comparison of 2 peanut butters before. The British and the American peanut butter. But then I got a Canadian peanut butter. And when you look at all three of these were made in the US. So this is a British smooth peanut butter, the American peanut butter, and the Canadian, although now I think the Canadian peanut butter may come in a package that is closer to the color of the other items in the Canadian rations that you might see, say the hamburger bun or the drink mixes, or some of the snack packaging. But all three of these are made in the US, but they are slightly different recipes. And then here in front of the crackers, which are just going to be used as a carrier for the peanut butters and these Russian apple butters. I've done a review of, or comparison between these two, but now this one is appearing in some Russian rations. So I decided that since I have all three of these, I'm just going to go ahead and bust out all three of these and do a comparison. JM, thanks for dropping in. I'm just starting to show what I have. I don't have a ration review. I could have started the mashups, but I actually want to start those after the memorial camp, so I'll get into those starting in 2 weeks. But I'm basically showing what is going to be a snack comparison. And as I said, I just have these Russian crackers, which I have a lot of. They're just going to be the carriers for the peanut butter and the apple butters, and I may even use some for the cheeses. And then, speaking of cheeses, this is the same type of label as the apple butter. This is a new cheese that is showing up in some Russian rations. And this is the cheese that most ration viewers and reviewers are familiar with. So I'm going to see if there's a difference in color and texture and taste. Even the foil on top of the tins look different, and there's even a color difference in the tin color. And then this is, I'm sure, what a lot of people will be excited about. This is a comparison between this Smarties. I did not bring the American Smarties over here, but I can get my packet to show what those are in a bit. But this is a Canadian Smarties. And as you can see, they look similar to M&Ms. When I got this, the box had popped open, so I taped this end to keep them all in. In fact, I'll go get the American Smarties and I'll show you what I mean. This is what we here in the U.S. call Smarties. In other countries, they have something similar, but they may call them a different brand, but the packaging is the same. I do not have those other candies that I've seen some call them rockets. But again, this is the American Smarties, which I actually save because these are a hard candy that will not melt, and I can store these for long term. But again, this Smarties, the Canadian Smarties, in this interesting little hexagonal box compared to M&Ms. So it was cool to get these. And just in case I might need to keep them separate. I'm not sure if I'll do this, but these are the little cups that came with this green tray when I bought it. So I don't know if I'll use these or not, but I have them here just in case. And I have my foreignmemory.com sport to stir the drinks with. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix those so that they will have a little time to dissolve. I just got this U.S. orange drink out of my stash of assorted ration drink mixes. This one did not tear very well, but I didn't want to try tearing it all the way across because I didn't want to send powder everywhere. So. As you can already see, there is a difference in the powder color. And I did not get much of a scent when I opened up the British powder, but I can get that tang smell off of this one. There are other orange drink powders in American rations, but this is just the one that I happened to actually grabbed it at random, and it turns out it calls for a similar amount of water as the British ones. That actually worked out pretty cool. This is definitely not a professional video job. This powder is a lot dustier than the British one was. I'll go ahead and mix this one first. Jay's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is your first time coming into one of my live streams. Welcome. Sorry I haven't been looking at the chat. I was concentrating on getting all of the powder into this glass. Now, some of these American drink powders take a long time to dissolve. So that's why I'm doing this one first. There's a lot more powder in this particular one than in the British one. Some of the other formulas have less powder. Then, of course, some of those either may make for less mixed drink, and some may make more. It just depends on the concentration of some of the ingredients. But I will definitely be giving that a stir again. So I will put this one back here. And I'll put the packet in front. Now I will now this one looks more like lemonade, but it says orange. And a lot of the European and Russian drink mixes do not have as much color in them. And they use different colors than we do here in the US. This one is dissolving a whole lot better. Actually, I might actually need to get a little bit more water because I want this to go up to the bottom of the. I want to go up here, so I'm going to go get another bottle of cold water, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So that's about how much I want in that one. As you can see, I refill containers and keep it in my fridge. I'm not bothering with the expense of bottled water, and I'm not wasting all of that plastic. Here in Iowa, we do not have a deposit on water bottles, juice bottles, non-carbonated drink bottles, only on carbonated drink bottles and alcohol bottles, and at least in my city, glass milk jugs from one particular dairy. Now I will put this one back here. Again, the packet will be in front. And I will go ahead and add a little bit more to this one, not a whole lot, just a little bit more. I'll just keep that back there. See, this one, I'm just giving it another stir since I've added. I'll turn that over. I'm just gonna look through the, well, I guess I just see of course, I don't have, yeah, I just keep one glass bottle in my fridge, that the Starbucks bottle, but I do have other glass containers filled with water, but I keep them in places where I know my cat won't bother them. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all these crackers back here, and I'll just start opening up some of these other things. I'm gonna I just bought the M&Ms from a store. It did not come from a ration. So these are the M&Ms. Not as many of the Smarties in there as the M&Ms, but you can see the difference in color. And I'll just pick up to, see, there's even a slight size difference. And I'm going to open up the cheeses. This is the newer cheese. This one is going to be a little more difficult to open. So that is this one. This is the one that most are familiar with. I'm taking the foils completely off. To the naked eye, it looks very much the same. I will probably taste the cheeses on some of these crackers as well. Hidden Numismatist is in the house. You're early. You're not late. So you're watching a different one tonight. The ration that I hope to do is hung up at the post office for some reason. So I decided that I'm just going to do a live snack comparison. And I'm just using a bunch of Russian ration crackers as basically the carrier for all of these. I got 3 Russian apple butters. This is the new one, similar labeling as this cheese. And then these are the 2 that I've compared before. But I decided since I have these, I'll go ahead and bust them out. And 3 different peanut butters from 3 different countries, but from the same country because all 3 of these are made in the U.S. But they're different recipes. You know, the company that packages these, they get their requirements from the country that they're destined for and make that instead of just sending out the same exact recipe to every country that they produce for. So now this is this comes from a British ration, Canadian maple leaf, and what comes in American rations, both military and civilian. So I'm just going to get a pair of scissors and just snip off corners. I'm giving the British one a little extra knead because it has a tendency to be a lot oilier. So I will definitely have to prop it up after I cut a corner off, or I'll just cut a smaller corner off. I'll just prop it up against my cracker stack for now. In the last comparison I did this apple butter, which is the one that first made its appearance on YouTube. This one, everyone was going absolutely bonkers for. And then there's this one. There's also an apple butter in a silver packet, but I have not had one of those yet, so I don't know what that one is like. But I have this, which is the newest one. So it'll be interesting to see color differences, as well as texture and taste differences. And of course, all of these Russian apple butters are 45 grams, but yet the packaging is different sizes, so it could be one has just different formulation in it, or more air in it, or just different way they're packed. So I'm going to go ahead and select or open up one pack of crackers, and I'll probably go through several of these. Then, yeah, I just want to make sure that I got some that are not already broken. I did weed out one pack that had some broken crackers in it, so of course those won't go to waste. I generally snack on those. See, that one did break in half, but that's fine. Just put my scissors away. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to put a little bit of these peanut butters on. This one I'll have to keep standing up because as you can see, it's very, very loose. So I'll have to keep that up like that. I probably should have got my other tray or something to spread these out more. Actually, I can do this since I got the British peanut butter over here. I'll put this one here like that. So that's the American peanut butter. And then this one here, have to this one here is the Canadian. Oops. Oops. Now I'm going to do the same with the apple butters. This cracker broke, but it'll still work. That'll still work. And those are the apple butters. I'm gonna... There we go. I got the drink, my American orange drink back in the picture. Oops, I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit so I can. There, now I should be able to see everything more. James Ortiz is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Sorry about the shakiness. I was just putting out my spread. I'm doing a snack comparison tonight instead. Ration review. Like it was supposed to. It got held up at the post office. It was supposed to be delivered Friday, but apparently there was some hiccup. It was not redelivered yesterday. So they said that he would look into it and make sure that I get it out on tomorrow. So anyway, what I have here is I'll just take this. Actually, the American peanut butter on the cracker is out of view, so I'll have to do it on top of so that's a Canadian peanut butter, and this one over the float on the cracker is the British peanut. Has this is M&M's. I'll put that there, and these are the Canadian Smarties. So since I got those, I thought I should do a comparison to M&M's. I don't know if anyone has ever done that before. Then I have two Russian cheeses, the one that everyone is familiar with, and a new one which looks nearly identical to it. I have a British orange, which looks like lemonade, and an American orange drink, which makes roughly about the same amount, at least this particular packet that I grabbed. So that's why I'm doing this. I could have done a ration mashup, but I actually want to start those after I get back from the Prepper Memorial Camp, which takes place next weekend. And since I don't know what time I'm going to be coming home, there will be no live stream. Of course, I'll have the tomorrow at the post office, but I don't know whether it will have been rated by customs or not, because it is coming from somewhere, like the seller. Some cracker fragments here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to taste of, this is the older cheese. Sleepy Dog, that would be Art, is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is the older Russian cheese, one that's most familiar with. They look identical. It kind of tastes like a mild version of an American cheese, kind of like a Velveeta, but a milder version. Now this is the newer one with this label. These are a little firm. That one has a slightly different texture. The flavor is even more mild. And again, it tastes like a very mild version of an American cheese, at least to me. They're firm, so they're not easily spreadable. So I would have to literally scoop it out and just drop a piece on a cracker. So I'm really not going to be bothering with that. I could have tried to warm them up a little bit, but I'd rather leave them as is because this is probably how the Russian soldier would eat it in a field. But that is a Russian cheese. Now, I don't want to get the M&M wrapper covered with peanut butter. So I'm going to take a drink of, this is the American orange drink. Tastes like Tang, although maybe a slightly weakened version of it. And this is the British orange drink. It looks more like a lemonade or a citrus drink, but as you see, the packet says orange. And that one has a stronger orange flavor, a more natural orange flavor, even though there's artificial flavors in there. And it's just slightly less sweet. So this one would be the winner. And as far as the cheeses go, I think this one would be the winner, but, you know, since I'm foregoing a ration review, you know, I am going to eat all these. Don't worry about that. This is not going to go to waste. Now, this is the British peanut butter. As I said, it tends to be looser. As you can see, it literally runs. It actually ran off onto the M&Ms. It does have a strong peanut flavor and a strong peanut scent. It's just that this one back here is a Canadian. Have much of an added. Now this is the American peanut butter. Dan is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Welcome if this is your first time in one of my live streams. This is a snack comparison since the ration I wanted to do did not come in as I hoped. I hang up at the post office, but I decided to go for this, and I'll start the ration mashups in a couple of weeks. But so this is the American peanut butter. This particular one has a little bit more sweetness. Commercial brands, a little bit of sweetness. But again, the strong peanut flavor. So that is, yeah, some may like their peanut butter a little more sweet, some a little more nutty. So although the flavor of this one is actually my favorite as far as peanut butter. The fact that it's a little too loose, that can be a downer. I'm just going to take a drink of this to get the peanut butter taste out of my mouth. Now the Russian apple, it's time for the Russian apple butter. This is the one that first hit YouTube when reviewers started getting into Russian rations. This one everyone has been going nuts after, and everybody raves about it. And it's a brown color. As you can see, it's darker than this one here. And it's about the same color as this one here. But will they taste the same? Time to find out. It's like a concentrated applesauce. It's not too sweet, but just sweet enough. But the apple, that one really comes through on that one. Now this is the second one that I've tried. As you can see, it's a lot darker. That one is not as sweet, and I noted that last time, but it's still got good apple flavor, so probably much tartar apple is used in that one. And now this is the newest version that is hit, at least that I've seen. I have not had the apple butter in the silver packet. Again, this one looks like the first one. This one is somewhere in between these two. So there's a bit more tartness than this one, but not as much as this one. And it's got a really good apple flavor. I almost picked up a hint of cinnamon. I don't know if there's actual cinnamon in it or if it's just the process that was used to give it that flavor, but it almost has a hint of cinnamon in it. But it's going to be a hard toss-up between this one and this one. So these are very close in, how much I like them. This one, it definitely would be third on the list of these apple butters. Now, once I get the one in the silver packet, then it'll be interesting to try that one. I'm just taking a drink of the British orange drink. Now I'm going to get to the chocolate ones. It's the M&Ms and the Smarties. That is the inside of the Smarties. So the chocolate is very sweet, and the candy coating is very sweet, and it appears to be a fairly thick coating. I don't know how you can see that. Now, I'm going to do that with M&Ms. The M&Ms have a thinner coating. You can see less of the white. Here, I don't know how well this thing will focus, but see the white underneath the color. That's a hard shell. The left is the Smarties, and the right is the M&Ms. So the M&Ms have a thinner hard shell than the Smarties, and the Smarties has a little bit more sweetness. And the chocolate is dark, but the M&Ms have a darker chocolate, even though it's the milk chocolate flavor. This is not the dark chocolate M&Ms, but so it's a Darties, and the chocolate inside is just a little bit more, almost a grainy texture to it. It almost reminds me of the malted milk balls, Whoppers, but without the malted flavor. That's what the Smarties reminds me of. But so the Smarties has more of the just real chocolate flavor than or no, the M&Ms have more of the real chocolate flavor to me than the Smarties, but these are still good. I mean, it's definitely interesting to try these. But again, these come from Canada. And it's very cool to sample all these. So, but I will definitely enjoy try the cheese with the M&Ms. Okay, Art, you're being weird. You're being weird. But I don't know how well that would work. These cheeses are harder. Just a little bit. Now, so this cheese is just a hair smoother than this one. Not quite as firm, but oh well, Art, you asked for it. Believe it or not, that would almost work. Now, if it were it's more of a salty cheddar, but not quite as salty as the American cheese spread, that might actually work. But it's not something that I would do normally. But now adding an M&M or Smarties to the peanut butters. Okay, Art, you're getting weird. I'll just have to put the cheese on top of that. I'll just do that. I'd have to squirt some more apple butter on the other crackers, but so this is with the apple butter overwhelms the cheese. Yeah, I could have got a bigger lump of cheese, but that's just not my thing, really. Now, adding the M&Ms or the Smarties to the peanut butters, now that would probably be a good thing. After all, peanut butter and chocolate do go good together. Now, there's one of each on there with the American butter. Thanks, Art. Yeah, that's much appreciated, but actually putting those with both of these with the peanut butter, that works out pretty darn good. Now the Canadian peanut butter, I'm going to do the same thing. I got one of each just for the heck of it. Again, there's a slight difference in taste of the Canadian peanut butter to the American, but it works good with Smarties and M&Ms. I don't know if peanut butter Smarties, if that exists up in Canada or not. It would be interesting to hear from a Canadian if there is such a thing. But yeah, it's a British peanut butter. As far as flavor goes, that's actually the best, because the British peanut butter has the stronger peanut flavor and none of the extra sweetness, and you get the sweetness from the M&Ms and the Smarties. But the problem is that this is just so loose. I don't know if it's this particular pack that I have. It's the only British peanut butter I had, so I didn't have a choice of which British peanut butter packet to grab, and oh well, it is what it is. So I could try peanut butters with the apple butters. See, I think I'll get a bigger piece of cracker for this for. If that combination works pretty well. The lack of sweetness in the British peanut butter is a good counter to the higher sweetness of this apple butter. This is a Canadian peanut butter with this apple butter. Yeah, that one works pretty well too. Although maybe I should have tried this one with that. I paired the US peanut butter with this apple butter. This one right here. They all work pretty well. I could probably mix them all up and other combinations, they'd still work out pretty well. Of course, anytime you put a jelly or jam or fruit butter with the peanut butter, especially these two, because they're a lot drier than the British. Yeah, that works out. That works out pretty good. So as I said, I will obviously be continuing to munch on these. After all, I love this Russian cheese. This one would be a second to this one, as I said earlier, but still good cheese. But again, I can still take it and just drop it on a piece of cracker. Off between the two drinks just to change that up, but yeah, it's definitely I will continue to do these as I get a hold of different things that are similar but come from different sources. I think it's fun to do things like this. I know when the MRE pizzas first came out, RC Gusto did a comparison between US pizza and the vegetarian version that comes from another country. I don't remember if it was Swedish or a vegetarian pizza, which I'll have to be on the hunt for that one, because I actually want to try that, even though some really did not like the texture of it. But since I don't eat pork, that would be the only way I would try a ration pizza. And speaking of ration pizzas, that pizza MRE that you sent to me, I'm taking that up to the Country Prepper Memorial Camp, and that will be put into a silent auction for yeah, a fundraiser for his family. And for those that do not know, Country Prepper, also known as Jeremiah Jewell, died last year. He was only 39. And he left a young child behind, along with his wife, and an adopted son who is older. And he died suddenly last year, and so his fellow Iowa YouTubers, at least some of us, have put together a memorial camp since he loved to camp. And of course, he was a prepper, but he set his family up good as far as being prepared for various situations. But since he can't do that anymore, we have decided to step up to the plate and do something for his family. And this camp is something that will be very, very special for the family. And so there will be other items for auction or sale, and all of the money will go towards the family, just like the ranger beads that I make and that I have been selling. As I showed last week, I have quite a few of those, and I can ship orders up through February 18th, because on the 19th I'm heading out to the camp location, along with a few others who will be going there early to set up the common areas. And so yeah, that pizza ration will be going up there, and someone will get to bid on it and help support the family. So Art, that's where that pizza ration is going. I hope you don't mind. I figured, I have it. I figured I'm going to find a way to share it that's unique. And I thought, what better way to share it than with others and to help support Jeremiah's family. So I think it'll be fun for the winner to enjoy, something a little different. And when I pitched that idea to one of the organizers, she thought, that's a good idea. So it's already packed and ready to go. Yeah, I hope so too. I have raised $64 from my Ranger bead sales, and I will be taking the remainder with me to sell up there. And as I said, until through the 18th, I can get packages out in the mail, and then any leftover after this coming weekend, then I will save for later if anyone wants them, and I may send a few to someone else who may want to use them in a giveaway. I talked to another YouTuber about it, just commenting back and forth. So, but that will be worked out later on. But for now, what I have is going to be offered up to raise money for the jewels. And, we will be shooting video from the time that we're there. And I will also be testing some gear while I'm there. I'll be trying out my hammock for the first time, as will my driver. She got herself a new hammock, and so she'll be trying that out for the first time. And of course, I have my privy items for that all ready to go. Yeah, that pun was intended. So excuse that one, but Dub C is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. In case you're wondering why there's nothing but snacks here. I'm doing a snack comparison because the ration that I wanted to do is not here. And I want to wait till after the memorial camp to start doing my mashups, which I'll be doing through up until Ramadan. Because during that time, I fast during the daylight hours, and I don't eat till after sunset. So what I have here, although it looks like a lemonade or a citrus punch type drink, this is a British orange as compared to one of the versions of an American orange drink, which is back here. This little thing that you see right here is part of my foam mount, so it's in the way. I really can't do anything about it. I've tried different positions, but this position seems to work out the best. Then I have different peanut butters. Oop, I keep bumping my my mount, so I apologize for that. But I have this is a British peanut butter, Canadian peanut butter, an American peanut, but all three peanut butters are made and packed here in the U.S. and then just shipped out. But they all have three different flavors. And these two are closer in consistency to each other, whereas the British peanut butter is a lot looser. And as you can see, it ran off the cracker onto my tray, but I'll clean that up. Then I have two Russian cheeses. This is a new label that's been coming out. And this cheese is a lot milder and firmer than this one, although they both look the same. This one is the one that most are familiar with. And then the apple butters. This one is the darkest. It has its flavor is more tart than the others. Then this one is, as far as tartness goes, in between this one and this one, but it looks more like this one here. And when I first started this, I was setting everything up. I squeezed everything out onto crackers so that get a good visual. And then here I have this, the milk chocolate M&Ms. Back in the day used to be called plain M&Ms. And I just bought this pack from a store. And this is a Canadian Smarties, as opposed to the American Smarties, which are back here propping up my American peanut butter. But down here in the U.S., we all know what those are. They're just basically a hard sugar disc with a little bit of flavor. They do not melt. And so if you're going to store candy for long-term storage, they would be a good one to store. I put them in little Ziploc bags to keep them freer from moisture. And because they're just twist wrapped instead of sealed, I choose to seal them. Along with the mint white color lifesavers and other hard candies that do not melt, like like the Jolly Ranchers or some of the Brock's candies or anything like that. Those would melt, so I don't store those, but these I do. But this is the Canadian Smarties, and the shell is a little thicker. It's a little sweeter. The chocolate in there is a little grainier. It's a little lighter in color. And it almost has the texture of the Whopper's malted milk balls, but without the malted flavor. Whereas the M&M's, the chocolate in there is a lot darker, even though it's a milk chocolate. So, since I had not tried these before, I figured I should do a comparison between the Smarties and the M&M's, so that's why I did that. And then, since I had all these other things, I'm going to do a whole video on these. So, this is my second comparison video. So, as I said earlier, since I didn't get that ration that I was hoping to get because of a hang up at the post office, I decided to go for this. And just, general chit chat. And I just told Art that the pizza ration that he had sent me is going to be part of the fundraiser for the Jewel family at the memorial camp that I'm going to next weekend. So as I posted in my community post on my channel page, there will be no live stream next Sunday because I do not know what time I will be getting back from that camp. That is up to my driver, and when we get everything all packed up and cleaned up, get the site back to looking natural, even though it is on a private property, we're still going to make sure that the site looks as clean as possible. But yeah, I don't know what time I'll be getting back, so there will be no live stream. I haven't decided if I will take that ration with me to hopefully maybe do a review. Or I could do a review up there for all the other attendees. Some of them may not have watched either me or some others do ration reviews. I'm no professional at that. I'm nowhere near the caliber of say OldSmokey or G Schultz or Steve 1989 or any of the other ones who have done it for years and years. But I got in it through a Sticky Finger 749. And of course, speaking of OldSmokey, in a couple of weeks on History Channel, he will be featured on a show called Eating History. And you can go to his channel and see the ads that he was given permission to replay here on YouTube. And so he has been showing those. So, one of our own is going to be on History Channel, and you can check that out. You can go to he's got all the details on his channel page. So what I will do after the stream is processed, I will grab a link to his channel and put it in the description. So I'll do that later on after this one is processed. But you want to check out the stuff that OldSmokey has going on. And although he did not open up one part of the package that I sent him, he did open up the package that I sent him. It was a surprise. I did tell him about it, but only recently I told him that I sent him a package and he got it. So he opened up one packet that was inside that package, and he will open up the main item later on. Once been giving him some grief lately that has kind of interfered with his ability to eat normal food and enjoy it. So but he still opened that package. He thanked me for it, and I sent another reviewer a surprise package, and he got it, and he will open that up in a future video. So that'll be fun to see what they think of what I put together for. It took me a few months to get all the items together. I do it bit by bit. As new things come into me, I look through them and say, ooh, I think someone really might enjoy this. Or I think I can go here and find something unique that they would probably not have ever tried or been able I included a few items from there in their packages. So I will not say what those are. You'll have to wait to view videos to see what I sent, but it's something that they'll get a kick out of. And in one of the packages, I got local and sent a local item made right here in Iowa. So I think that would be an enjoyable thing for both of them to show on their channels. But yeah, OldSmokey will open up his soon on his channel, and then the other guy I sent one to, well, he will review it on his channel. And we'll leave it at that for now. So yeah, the packages that I put together got received, and they're excited to get into them. So maybe in the future I'll probably do that for some other reviewers. Now, there are reviewers who have sent me things, like CT has sent me something. All right, Eeyore has sent me something. So I think I will put something together for them. Maybe I'll find Iowa items and just send a bunch of stuff made right here in Iowa to send them to enjoy and maybe try out on video if they want. You know, I may do that for others. As funds permit and items avail themselves to me. It's fun to do, trade stuff back and forth. Unfortunately, there ration trading last month because the ration meetup that Black Dog Bob was going to host has been canceled for obvious reasons because of nasty going on. And yeah, that is affecting us right here in Iowa. We have one case that is in a county that is adjoining mine. I'm in Polk County, and Dallas County is one of the counties that directly borders Polk, and there is one case there. And so it's getting closer to home, and my mosque has canceled all meals until further notice, so I don't know if we will have our nightly iftar dinners during Ramadan, or if not, we'll just have to see how that goes. It may be a different Ramadan in the past, so we'll just have to see how things play out. And but as of this past Friday, no meals, and we'll just have to play it by ear. And if our board chooses to basically shut down all mosque activities, including the congregational prayers that take place 5 times a day, you know, that will be something that they'll make a decision on. So that has not happened yet, but so far the meals are gone, and other large group events are gone. The weekend school will be ending before Ramadan, if it has not already been suspended. But yeah, it's getting closer to home, and you know, I was in a text with one of my sisters who made sure that my mom got some rear rolls. She was able to score a bunch and you know, stock her house up. She offered some to me, but I said I'm good. I've been stocking up for quite some time. You know, I don't have enough to last me a whole year, but I got enough to get me through a few months. So, yeah, I'm good. And just make sure that my mom has some, because she doesn't drive, she doesn't ride the bus yet. I'm hoping that'll change. But because buses only go every 2 hours over to her neighborhood, that's a crapper. So it would make it harder for me to go visit her. So, but I'd like to visit her, but because she is older, she has some health issues. We're just going to keep our distance. My sisters who do drive will drop things off. And so, keep her stocked up, because it is much easier for them to do that than me. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that she's got what she needs, since she has very limited income, with her Social Security. And so, yeah, we're going to make sure that she's got what she needs. But right now, as far as rear rolls, she's good. So, of course, it's a reminder to check on older people with compromised immune systems, and other underlying health concerns. And yeah, it doesn't have to be older, any age. There's there are people with rheumatoid arthritis. That's an autoimmune type of arthritis, as opposed to the osteo, which I have. So those people are compromised. So you got to check on them, and make sure that your pets are well supplied. So I bought 2 bags of cat food last week. So I'm good to go for Mila for probably 6 months of cat food. And if I have to, I will feed her treats as food. So I've been backing off on giving her treats, but if I have to feed her treats as food, then that's what I'll do. But yeah, I've got her stocked up, and we've had water issues in my building, but because I am prepared, I dipped into my water storage, and I used some of my a small pack of my wet wipes for cleaning myself, and yeah, I've been dealing with that, and we will have more water issues because my complex is under new management, and there are going to be a lot of repairs going on, and that includes plumbing. So there will be water shutoffs, and we have been warned this time. The last, like Thursday and Friday, there was no warning. I found out the hard way, but that's okay, because I'm prepared. I dealt with it. I just get one of my bottles of water that I fill myself, like this one here. I keep some in the fridge to keep them cold. Then it also keeps them out of the light. Yep. I have to get some fresh bleach, because the bleach that I've been sitting on is several months old. I may take it to the mosque to use there for cleaning and just get myself a new bottle. But I also have water purification tablets. I can use those. And some of the water that I have stored up is designated for cleaning only, or for flushing the toilet. So you pour a gallon of water fast down into the bowl of your toilet, it'll flush by gravity. So I've done that before. I actually found that out when cleaning and a floor with a mop, a wet mop, and I dumped that water down the toilet, it flushes it. So yeah, that's what I've done before. I was on the phone yesterday about using a fast pour of a gallon of water in your toilet, and it'll flush it. So you store up water specifically for that, and keep that separate from your drinking water. Oh yes, it is if issues, but yeah, I reuse. When I get into use certain bottles of water from my storage, and I refill them when the water's come back on after I've let the pipes run, let the faucets run for a while, just to kind of bleed out the system. Then I refill those containers, and I'm ready to go for next time. And so if you do that, especially if you live in a multi-unit building, like an apartment or condo, then you'll be good to go if you have a water shutoff, whether it's announced or not. And today there was the notice about new management and ongoing repairs that will include plumbing repairs. So people now have been warned. Whether or not they take heed and actually store up water like I do remains to be seen. And of course, we've had power outages, and because I'm prepared, I'd lent out light. I shared light with the others in my building to help them see whatever they needed to do, or just to go in the hallway or in or out of the door. So yeah, I did that, and so that's another thing to do, is even though weather's getting warmer, still prepare for power outages. So it's a good thing that I've done that, because I've helped others out, and I'll continue to do that. And because I have a lot of food stored, if some of the people here in my building run out of food and they have to self-isolate, I can share. I may have to dig it out of a closet or out from under my bed, but I'll do that. I will give something to someone when there is a need. Just like riding the bus, I'd put a token in their hand, say, go put this down the hole. And I'll run out of my tokens. I use a pass, but I still carry tokens. So next month I'll get some more tokens so I can continue to do that. Plus, it's a backup plan for me in case I can't use my pass. So if you're a city bus rider or a city train rider, get yourself some tokens to back up your pass, and so you can help someone else in a pinch. So that's what else has been going on, other than I am nearly prepared for the memorial camp. And it was saying I was not connected to the internet when I actually am, so I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, I was saying, I'm almost ready for the memorial camp. Got all my food ready to go. I just have to pack my cold in my cooler. And we've been discussing the food that we're all going to bring, and some other things. So, as I said earlier, the pizza ration, that custom ration that Art and me, that for auction as part of rules. I still have a few strings left, and I can ship up through the 18th because I'm leaving on yeah, for post to ship them out. Yeah, sorry about that. I got off in. I seem to be having issues online here, so I don't know what's up with that. But I should go ahead and call this. But as I was saying, we've discussed stuff. Some of us will be hammocks for the first. Yeah, a lot of video. Others will be coming up on the 20th, which is the that I'll be going up. So in my last stream, I put up a video. The last video where I the ranger bee, and that I'm booted off, and several tries to for all the memorial videos to become coming out next week. If I put up something on, then I'll do it. Yeah. As for tonight, coming back next week with videos from the Country Pepper Memorial. Watching, thanks to and so Steve, see you in a few days. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.